Hey everybody, so today I'm going to do a quick review of the Woodland Mills WG24 Stump Grinder. I've had this about 2 weeks, but it's been so rainy and snowy here. It's been too muddy to get into the woods. So this is the first time I've gotten to use it. I've just ground 3 stumps with it on a logging trail that I have here in the woods. And this is a trail that I want to expand and use more. And so the stumps were getting in the way, and it's been overdue to come in here and clear them out. So I'm going to show a couple of the stumps that I ground down and talk about a few observations I have after using the unit, and then end with some video of one of those stumps being ground down. So let's get started. Okay, so here's one of the stumps that I ground, and I'll have more video on this one later. This is a southern yellow pine stump. It was about, I don't know, 14 inches across, I'd say. And it went pretty smooth. This was kind of my guinea pig stump, and I had left this one taller than usual because I didn't want to dull my chainsaw chain too much trying to cut it down flush. So this one was a good, I don't know, 6-8 inches high. It worked really good considering it was my first stump. I learned quite a few things in the process. Probably the biggest thing I learned is that you need a good amount of space to be able to maneuver your tractor to use this stump grinder. And my skidder trail is about 10 to 12 feet wide, and it has some tight spots, but to get it this stump, I had to move around quite a bit to get all parts of it ground down. And again, it's been a lot of rain and snow here. The ground is very soft, and it kind of made a mess of the ground. That's not the stump grinder's fault, but kind of reinforces to me that you need a lot of space to work. You need to be able to maneuver. And in my case, I probably should have waited another week, another dry week if we get one, before coming in here, but I was kind of chomping at the bit to do this. So that's that first pine stump. And then there was a bigger stump here. By the way, that pine stump was fresh cut about 3 weeks ago. Over here is a big huge poplar stump. This was probably 26 inches across. This one went real easy. This was about 1.5 years old, so it's probably started to rot a bit. This one went real easy. And I got this one down quick, and having practiced on that pine stump, I kind of really knew what to do by the time I got to this stump. And if you want to get an idea how wet the ground is here, I mean, that's just ridiculous. I've been digging post holes for a new pole barn, and they fill up instantly. The ground is just super saturated here. Now, one of the big observations I want to make, and I knew this going in, because I've used stump grinders before, but when you're cutting with this thing, it's really important that you're doing all your cutting in this quadrant of the wheel as it's spinning around. That's what Woodland Mills recommends. I've noticed that using other types of stump grinders. They have a kind of an arc or a quadrant where they're most effective, and for this one and most others, you know, if it's going to rotate this way, you want to be cutting right in this quadrant of the wheel. You'll probably see in that video when I ground a pine stump, if there were any situations where I got into it at a bad angle, or maybe I wasn't paying attention, if any grinding was happening, you know, over here, this thing bounced quite a bit, and it's just not stable when it's grinding there. So really, that's a key observation. You know, do your grinding on that part of the wheel. When you do that, man, it cuts like butter. I have a 32 horsepower tractor, which I believe is 25 horse at the PTO. And, you know, when I was doing a good job and paying attention, it just didn't really hardly work at all. If I got to be cutting on the wrong part of the wheel, or I took a bite that was too big, or, you know, anything that was not optimum, then there was a lot of bouncing, and then you could feel the tractor engines kind of surging a little bit and working. So I think really the key to using this is to know what you're doing and get that wheel cutting in the right place. And then again, this is where I was working on that poplar stump, and you know, I made quite a mess here in terms of running, moving back and forth to get over it. Not nearly as bad as that pine stump, but still not ideal. So I'll probably chip some wood, some limbs and some cut-offs for my sawmill, chip those and put the wood chips down here, and that usually takes care of the problem when I make a mess like this. Anyways, I'm pretty impressed with this unit for the price. I used to rent stump grinders all the time, and I would spend probably $300-400 to rent one for a day. Whenever I rented one, it was one of those tracked hydraulic units. I'm trying to think. I've rented Vermeer, I've rented Burritos, I've rented I think Toro had one, and they're all, you know, they're pretty good, but they're hard to maneuver. The tracks will tear up the ground, probably worse than that. They're never sharp or maintained. I mean, I've rented ones that have gas leaks. I've rented ones that had a dead battery, so you know, you couldn't get the electric or hydraulic stuff working. I had to hook up my own battery, and it's just been a pain in the ass. And I've probably spent, I don't know, $2,000 renting those things over the years. So to get this one, I think I paid about $2,400 for this shipped. I mean, that's just it's a great deal, and you know, I'm going to get a lot of use out of this for years to come. So that's everything. I'm going to conclude now with some clips of me grinding that pine stump. Thanks for watching.